afternoon. My name is Chandra Johnson Banks, and tonight I will be presenting a speech, a persuasive speech, about the effects of having a baby in your teenage years. Number one, I will be talking about the negative effects of pregnancies. Number two, I will be talking about the financial stress of having a baby during the teenage years. And the third thing I will be talking about is the lack of financial support that a young teenage mother will experience during the time of having a baby during teenage years, 13 to roughly 17 years old. So number one, being a teenager and having a baby, there are a lot of negative effects. As stated on urbanchildinstitute.gov.org, sorry about that, they stated that during teenage years that a mother goes through a different cycle where her body is still growing psychologically and mentally and physically. Also the body is still growing. So the negative effects that a young girl may go through when her body is still growing and she becomes pregnant, it kind of triggers the body in a negative way. And having to have an extra life inside of her body to kind of nourish a child, that's pretty much, it's negative. It's not a physical way of a good experience of having a baby. And secondly, it could cause a lot of emotional stress where the mother could be depressed, there could be other issues going on in her life that could cause, pretty much a negative effect. Me, myself, I was a young mother having a baby, and it was a difficult time for me as well. And me not really knowing how to care for a baby, that was a negative effect also. The second thing that I believe, and studies have shown also in www.onlymyhealth.com also emphasizes that the mother may have lack of financial support. I mean, she's a teenager herself, so most of the time her parents are pretty much, pretty young too, probably not rich, but, having difficulties of having to feed a child, clothe a child, and having medical care for the child. These can become a very negative effect financially on the mother, the teenage mother, and also her parents. And who's to say if the father of the teenage mother is involved? So having a baby during teenage life is just not a good thing for any teenager to do. And thirdly, I'm going to talk about tonight that the experience of basically caring for a baby, having that TLC of giving the baby, the support and loving care that they may need during these early time of when they're birthed, and also when you're pregnant with the child. I mean, this could be a very negative effect because of you being a teenager. You really don't know what's really going on in your body. I mean, you go through some times where, the body could be, just going through all different kinds of different cycles of depression. Sometimes you may feel happy that you're having a baby, but when you think about it, as far as being sick, as far as not being pretty, gaining a lot of weight, this can be a negative effect on a young teenager, and socially not being able to interact with her friends socially. So I just believe myself, and also as being a teenage mother, that there are negative effects of having a baby. So young ladies, from my experience, try not to have a baby at a young age, because it's not a great experience. And especially if you do not have the support from family and friends. Have a good night. I'm Chandra Banks.